Welcome to Gold Health Plus. Have you ever felt trapped in your own body, tired, sluggish, and wondering if it's too late to change? Do you tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes? Now, what if I told you a 76-year-old woman once felt the same and then transformed her life completely? Meet Joan MacDonald, who lost over 30 kilograms, reversed her health issues, and became stronger than most people half her age. Still think it's too late for you? At 78 years old, most people slow down, resigning themselves to the aches and illnesses that seem inevitable with age. But Joan MacDonald chose a different path, a path that defied expectations, challenged the limits of what's possible, and ultimately transformed her life in ways she once thought impossible. For decades, Joan struggled with her weight. She carried the emotional and physical weight of a lifetime filled with silent battles, an unhappy marriage in her younger years, years of comfort eating to fill the emotional void, and the slow but relentless creep of poor health that came with every passing year. Food became her escape, her refuge. Yet, every bite brought not relief, but another layer of shame, another layer of pounds added to a frame that was slowly breaking under the pressure. The reflection in the mirror became unbearable. Joan could no longer recognize the woman staring back at her. She avoided social gatherings, hid her body in shapeless dresses, and dreaded the thought of summer or the beach. The simple joy of feeling the sun on her skin became a source of embarrassment because she couldn't imagine burying herself in front of others. As her weight climbed close to 90 kilograms, the physical consequences became impossible to ignore. Joan was short, and on her frame, the weight was not just visible. It was suffocating. Her body started to betray her. High blood pressure became a constant threat. Cholesterol levels soared. Acid reflux made every meal a potential hazard. Her joints ached. Her ankles swelled. She couldn't walk up the stairs without gasping for air or wincing in pain. She needed knee replacement surgery just to function. But even then, climbing stairs remained a near impossible task. Worse than the physical toll was the emotional weight Joan carried. The endless prescriptions stacked up like a daily reminder of her failing health. She lived in fear of what the next doctor's visit would reveal. The vibrant woman she once was, full of dreams, laughter, and life, had slowly faded into a shadow of her former self. Depression crept in, wrapping itself around her like a heavy blanket, and for a time, Joan couldn't see a way out. She described those days not as living, but merely existing. But life has a way of offering us one last chance, one defining moment that forces us to choose, stay buried or rise. For Joan, that moment came with a phone call to her daughter, Michelle. In tears, Joan confessed the depth of her struggle, the pain, the hopelessness, the sense that her life was slipping away. Michelle listened, and then, with all the love and strength of a daughter who refused to lose her mother, she said words that would change Joan's life forever. "Mom, stop burying yourself. We need to pull ourselves together." It was a wake-up call. For the first time in years, Joan saw a flicker of a different future, one where she wasn't just waiting for life to end, but fighting to reclaim it. Michelle didn't just offer kind words. She gave Joan a plan, an invitation to join her online fitness program, to train together, to fight together. At 70, Joan didn't even own a smartphone, let alone know how to use one. Technology was a foreign world. The thought of learning apps, logging workouts, tracking meals, it was overwhelming. More than once, Joan was ready to quit before she even started. Tears were shed, doubts crept in. But somewhere, deep inside, a stubborn fire refused to go out, and so, the journey began. Her story resonated with millions. Joan became a beacon of hope, an Instagram sensation with over 1.5 million followers, all inspired by her refusal to let age define her. She didn't just change her life, she changed how people viewed what's possible in their golden years. Today, Joan is proof that transformation has no age limit. Her journey from depression, disease, and hopelessness to health, strength, and happiness is a testament to the power of will, love, and relentless determination. Joan's message is simple but profound. You can't turn back the clock, but you can wind it again. And that's exactly what she did. Joan MacDonald's journey wasn't built on shortcuts, magic pills, or trendy diets. Her transformation was forged through sweat, discipline, and a complete redefinition of what was possible, even at 78. And at the heart of it all was her unwavering commitment to fitness and nutrition, to pillars that gave her life back. When Joan first stepped into a gym, the odds were stacked against her. She was in her 70s, carrying decades of physical strain, joint pain, and the mental baggage of believing exercise was for the young. Even the simplest movements felt daunting. The weights seemed too heavy, the cardio too exhausting, and the machines impossibly complicated. There were moments she stood frozen, feeling out of place, doubting if she belonged there. But she kept showing up every single week. Joan didn't just go through the motions. She embraced a full fitness routine that many people half her age would find challenging. 5 days a week, she stepped into the gym, not as a frail senior, but as a woman determined to fight for her life. Her workouts weren't watered-down senior-friendly routines. They were real, structured programs designed to build strength, muscle, and resilience. She started with bodyweight exercises, squats, push-ups, modified movements, learning the basics, mastering form, and reconnecting with her body. Slowly but surely, Joan added weights, not light dumbbells meant for casual toning, but progressive weight training that pushed her limits. She deadlifted 30 to 40 kilograms with precision, feeling the surge of power with every rep. Her legs pressed 80 kilograms, a number that would make many gym-goers pause. But perhaps the most jaw-dropping achievement was her pull-ups. Joan, once unable to climb stairs, could now lift her entire body weight, pulling herself up on a bar for 5 to 6 full repetitions. No bands, no help. Just raw strength earned through relentless effort. And she didn't stop at weights. Joan incorporated cardio training into her routine, cycling, walking, or interval workouts to strengthen her heart, boost endurance, and burn fat. Every week, she tweaked her plan, challenging herself, learning new skills, and refusing to settle for comfort. Yet, as hard as Joan trained, she knew fitness was only half the battle. Real change required fueling her body with the right foods, not starving it or following the latest restrictive fad. In the past, Joan admitted to mindless snacking, sweets, and nuts after every meal, using food for comfort. But as she learned from her daughter and fitness coaches, nutrition wasn't about deprivation. It was about nourishment, about giving her body the tools to heal, grow, and thrive. Protein became the star of Joan's diet. Every meal, all 5 spaced throughout the day, was built around high-quality protein sources that supported muscle growth and recovery. She learned the importance of hitting her protein targets, at least 1 gram per pound of her ideal body weight, because as we age, our bodies struggle to process and utilize protein efficiently. Joan didn't eat less. She ate smarter, more protein, better fats, and nutrient-rich carbs. Vegetables in every color of the rainbow filled her plate, each bite bursting with the vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients her body craved. She embraced healthy fats, avocados, nuts, seeds, and cheeses, not as indulgences, but as essential fuels for her joints, brain, and hormones. And hydration, Joan made it non-negotiable. She drank at least 3 liters of water daily, understanding that water was not just a thirst quencher, but the lifeblood of every function in her body, from muscle repair to digestion to cognitive clarity. Supplements and vitamins rounded out her routine, carefully chosen to fill any nutritional gaps and support her aging body's unique needs. She treated her body like a sacred vessel, no longer ignoring its cries for help but responding with love, care, and discipline. What shocked Joan and inspired so many was the discovery that the stronger she became, the more she needed to eat. This wasn't about shrinking, it was about building muscles, health, vitality, and most importantly, confidence. Joan's fitness and nutrition routine wasn't a punishment or a fleeting phase. It became her way of life, a celebration of what her body could do, not a reminder of what it had lost. Every lift, every bite, every drop of sweat was a promise to herself, "I'm not done living yet." And through it all, Joan proved something powerful, that age is not a cage. With the right plan, mindset, and heart, anyone, at any stage of life, can rewrite their story. Joan MacDonald's incredible transformation wasn't a stroke of luck or a fleeting burst of motivation. It was the result of powerful principles, simple yet profound, that she lived by every single day. These became her anchors, guiding her through the toughest moments, and today, they serve as a blueprint for anyone yearning to reclaim their health, their confidence, and their life. For Joan, the turning point came when she stopped focusing on the overwhelming mountain ahead and instead asked herself, "What can I do today?" She learned that true change doesn't come from grand gestures, but from the small, consistent habits we build every day. Joan wrote down what she wanted to change, not just vague wishes, but concrete goals. Then, she broke them down into actionable steps: walk more, lift heavier, eat better. That daily focus gave her control over her journey and made the impossible feel achievable. Joan ditched the outdated idea that strength training was for the young. She embraced lifting, not just to look better, but to fight back against the frailty of aging. Every squat, every deadlift became a silent rebellion against weakness. Strength made her feel alive. Joan learned that food wasn't the enemy, it was her greatest ally. She prioritized protein in every meal, understanding that her muscles, her recovery, her energy, all depended on it. And she drank water like her life depended on it, because it did. 3 liters a day, every day, flushing out toxins, fueling her body, keeping her sharp. Gone were the days of mindless snacking. Joan's plates became colorful canvases, rainbow vegetables, healthy fats, whole grains. Every meal was a chance to heal, to fuel, to honor her body. One of the most beautiful parts of Joan's journey was the support she embraced, from her daughter, her husband, and later, from millions online. She learned that telling your loved ones your goals isn't weakness. It's strength. Support turns lonely battles into shared victories. Joan didn't just train hard, she recovered harder. 8 hours of sleep became sacred. She learned that true progress comes when you rest, allowing your body to rebuild, your mind to reset, your spirit to heal. Joan stopped looking for overnight miracles. She fell in love with slow, steady progress, because that's the kind that lasts. Every small win became a reason to celebrate, not a reason to give up. Joan's secret weapon, her mindset. She silenced the negative voice in her head, replacing it with gratitude and joy. She kept learning, new exercises, new recipes, even new technology. She proved that age isn't an excuse to stop growing, it's a reason to grow harder. Joan documented everything: her first workout, her first deadlift, her first smile in a mirror she no longer feared. Photos told the story her mind sometimes forgot. You're not the same woman anymore. You're stronger. These aren't just wellness tips. They are Joan's rules for life, the principles that turned a tired, sick, 78-year-old woman into a symbol of hope, strength, and resilience. And they can do the same for anyone brave enough to believe change is still possible. Joan MacDonald's story is living proof that it is never too late to change. Not at 50, not at 60, and certainly not at 78. She stands as a beacon for anyone who has ever felt trapped in their own body, weighed down by years of regret, illness, or lost hope. Her message is simple but profoundly moving. You can't turn back the clock, but you can wind it again. And Joan did exactly that. She rewound her life, not to relive the past, but to create a future filled with strength, health, and joy. What makes Joan's journey extraordinary is not just the weight she lost or the muscles she built. It's the powerful why that carried her through. She found her reason to fight, her reason to rise, not for anyone else, but for herself. That purpose became her fuel, driving every lift, every meal, every drop of sweat. Joan's transformation shatters every excuse. Age is not a barrier, fear is. And once she broke free, she showed the world it's never too late to become who you were meant to be. And there you have it. Joan MacDonald's incredible story is a reminder that no matter where you are in life, change is always possible. You are never too old, too out of shape, or too far gone to rewrite your story. The only thing standing between you and the life you dream of ... is the decision to start. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Small steps, taken consistently, can lead to the most powerful transformations. Find your why, hold on to it, and let it fuel you every single day. Just like Joan, you have the strength within you. It's time to unleash it. Thank you so much for watching. If Joan's story inspired you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another story that reminds you just how powerful you truly are. Stay strong, stay positive, and remember, your journey is just beginning. See you in the next video.